Hey everybody, welcome back to another Starbase video. I thought I heard something very weird on my ship. I was like, what is that noise? And no, it's just somebody was flying past. But yeah, I mean, look at this. How awesome does this look? With the planet and the sun and the various moons. Oh, okay, and now it's disappearing. But anyways, welcome back to Starbase. Quickly bringing you guys, I think it's just going to be a quick video explaining how the approach system and everything works on this ship. Yeah, and I'm doing this because it's going to be a short video, because the day when this is recorded, which is a Tuesday, there is going to be a power outage for like 2 hours and whatnot, so I won't really have the time to like work on the ship, this ship, but the upgrade one in the SSC. So I decided to like listen this quickly, just jump into this ship, and I'm gonna show you guys like how this ship works, all those things. Now, one thing that is very weird for me, yesterday when I was out mining, these thrusters would look like these ones, okay? And then today, now these ones are up and these ones are not working. I have no idea why this is, but if you look at the thrust, like 027, 027, 0 270, then 2, then 27. So it's about the same. But why are these like sort of firing and these ones are not? And can I reach that? No. Can I reach that? No, I cannot. Oh well. Anyways, okay. So I'm just waiting for. Well, there was one asteroid there. Here we go. So I'm just gonna slow down really quickly. Yesterday when I was out mining, I think it was about 50 kilometers at the border of the safe zone. I was just flying around there, checking things out, and saw all the wreckage is just behind the safe zone. And as I was mining, I was like, okay, I do the thing with my ship where I point at something and I click the button, and then like and I was approaching, it's like, wait a minute, what is this? Then it turns out it was another ship, that like a big boxy one. I think it's like maybe a hauling ship or a big mining ship, but it just like it. I thought it was an asteroid or something, and that's what I meant about yesterday's video, or the previous episode. Whereas when it gets dark, when the sun is not like really shining, it doesn't get like pitch black dark, but what happens is these asteroids and whatnot, they become like these black pips, like sort of like that one over there. They look like that, so you don't know really what they are unless you get close to them and use your ore scanner. And that's exactly what happened. Like I saw this shape, and once I got close, I was just like, wait, this is a ship. So yeah, okay. I see a couple of asteroids which we can quickly target. So I want to show you guys like how I do it. First of all, I'm going to switch cruise mode off, turtle mode on. I am going to have to switch on my speedometer. This is all going to change. I'm going to write a couple of codes and whatnot to make this system a little bit more automated, because as you guys saw, like I have to press this button and then this button and this button and all those sort of things. So I like maybe just want to do something different. Okay, so I'm going to look at my front rangefinder over here, and I'm just going to turn ever so slightly. And this is why I have the total mode on, is just to make this a little bit more accurate. And also with yesterday's episode, I installed that cargo beam lock just to help guide with this thing. Because as we can see, like, yeah, it's not really helping out here. So I have to take a fair guess. So I'm just keeping an eye on that, just to get it lined up. This would have been easier with a closer target. Let's get closer though. Why am I struggling? Let's just get closer to the target. And yeah, let's just see. It should not be that hard from this distance, but I don't want to take too long as well, because this ship does have a slow first approach. Its initial approach is slow, but it's not like the second approach, the final approach, the slow one. It is a little bit faster, but I'm relying on the ship's inertia to stop and all those things. Yeah. So let me see, can we get a lock on? So what I kind of like to do is have my laser pointed above the target, at least in line. And then just push downwards ever so slowly up until this number changes. Still nothing. Okay, let's get closer then. Usually it doesn't go this long. Yeah, usually it doesn't. Maybe it's a very small target. It's possible. We're like just at the outside the cusp of the station. The station's right there. So these asteroids will always be tiny. Tall? No, they're not tall. They're just tiny. Okay, so let's see if we cannot line you up better now. Around here would be fine. Okay, so now we have our target lined up. So it was out of range for us technically. So like, yeah, that's why we didn't pick it up. So I bet you we were actually hitting it, but like the target, like it was too far away for the rangefinder to pick it up. But now we have we're around 547 meters question mark away. So what I'm gonna do is it's lined up. We got a target. I'm gonna press this button. Okay. There we go. And we also have to have cruise mode on. Because now what's happening is I have a panel here that shows the value. Okay. So the code, how it works is it's a variable that is that's picking up this. And I said that if wait, just want to. Okay, I will explain as we get close. I will explain, but basically it compares this variable with this speedometer, and then the variable now is about 10. So the code is telling the engines to fire up a little bit up until when it reaches about 10 meters a second over here. And as we get closer, that value drops. Okay. And yeah, that value drops. So ever so slightly, I think about 120, I think was the cutoff point or something. So it will drop from 10 to 7 to 4. So it kills the engines completely. I would have had another display here to show the throttle, how much is being pushed up. And as we can see, now we are at 0. Because I think at 90 meters or something, I told the YOLO code to make that value 0. So now the YOLO code is trying to get the thing to the lever to 0. But yeah, still on 0. Just want to remember which one is it. Okay, so this is it. So what I've done is I gave V for velocity. I made it a global variable, and it has the value of 0. And then D for distance, it gets the value of the front rangefinder. So D is whatever the front rangefinder's distance is. So I said if the distance is larger than 260, okay, then my velocity must then the value of V becomes 10. So if the distance is larger than 260, then my target velocity is 10. Okay, and the reason why I made this a global variable is because I want to use it on this YOLO code over here. I lied to you. Here we go. So this is the code that controls the speed. Okay. I gave T a value that is throttle. Okay. I just made sure like to check if the auto button is on so it doesn't do its own stupid thing. Then I did actually a sort of a infinite loop. I said if the value, if speed, now that is the speed indicator over here, okay, which is tied to the speedometer over there. I said if that, whatever's displayed over there, if that is smaller than the target velocity, now the target velocity over here, if it's higher than 260, it becomes 10. So if the speedometer is smaller, then T which is 0, or thrust, gets T plus 0.2. Okay. So T becomes 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, and then 1, so on and so forth. And then I set FCU forward, which is this lever over here. Pressing all the wrong buttons. FCU forward. Okay. Now, wait. FCU forward now becomes that value. So this means that this YOLO code is now controlling that FCU forward. So what's going to happen is, I said to, like, if it's smaller, then do this little math thing over here, and then control the throttle, and then go to 4, which is this line. So it will keep on checking if that speed, if that is smaller, that velocity. If it's smaller, keep increasing it, and then if the target velocity has been met, meaning the speed is higher, I should actually make it equal or higher, then the throttle or the T becomes 0, and then the throttle becomes, or the FCU forward also becomes 0. So that means that lever goes back to 0. And then I just rely on the inertia of the ship to carry it forward. But then because of the space jelly, which is because the simulation of space in Starbase is, if this was real space, we would have, even if you cut your engines, you would still be carrying that motion forward, that inertia. It will not stop. Okay, but here in Starbase there's something called space jelly, which well, I call it space jelly, which is basically your ship flies in like really thick air, okay, and that causes your ship to slow down. If you cut the throttle, your ship starts to slow down gradually. So this is what this thing is then doing. Then I'm relying on this ship to be carried forward with the space jelly, and it becomes and then the speed starts dropping, and as soon as it drops, then it will start running that again just to keep that value. Okay, and then as we get closer and closer, this is every time closer and closer and closer, and then I set if the distance is smaller than 10 but larger than 90, then go to 9, otherwise go to 4, and 9 is, oh yeah, okay, so what I've done is I said if this is true, then go to 9, and if the distance is equal or less to 90, then go check if the auto button is on or off. That's it. Otherwise go to 4, and the reason why I keep saying it go to 4 is to keep itself updated with the distance, which is the rangefinder at the front. So that's basically, if you guys don't understand what's going on, just remember this is all space magic with computers, okay? So yeah, now jump up here, and then we have our target. Now let's say, don't worry about the YOLO code. Now let's say you're doing this, okay, the auto button is actually still on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, all right, scan that thing for me. What do we have? And we have ice. Okay, good. Usually, I don't know why it does this, like it gives me the double value. I have no idea how to fix that. I looked at the code of this thing, and that was way above my pay grade. But anyways, so we can go ahead and switch that off. We know there's ice there. Well, it's kind of obvious. And now I'm gonna use the final approach button. Okay, final approach button. And slowly the ship is increasing its velocity. As we can see, I changed the value. So it keeps 6. So the ship is going to try to get its speed up to 6 meters a second, up until when a certain distance is met, and then it's going to drop down to, I think it's from 6 to 4 to 1 or something, because I'm trying to take into account the weight of the crates. The more weight you have, the longer it's going to take you to ramp up your speed. And as we can see, 10, 9, and there we go. That's it. The whole thing is completed. Now, how the final approach button works is the one over here. Same thing as this one. It's just a much smaller amount of numbers. Okay. And up until the last one, it will be value of 10. And then if it's less than 15, go to 10. And then 10 is like, it just switches off all the buttons. So you don't have to like, it's just a bit of a failsafe. Otherwise, if you're gonna like look away while the auto button is on, if you look away with your ship, then it's going to repeat the like there's a whole mess going on. But I'm trying to work on a counter for that. Then all you have to do is okay, all the buttons are off, and then just go ahead, do that, and then sweep. There we go. And now we're mining, and I changed the values on these mining lasers to be a little bit slower because they were going a bit fast and not breaking all the rocks or all the whole shell. They're like skimming above it very quickly. So I just changed it back like down just by 0.2, I would say, from 1.0 to 0.7. So it goes a little bit slower, but it actually breaks all the rocks and everything, or the shell of it, and even the things inside of it. So that is how this approach works. And oh yes, that's another thing. I just heard this go. Let me just go ahead and switch that off. This is another thing which I am going to automate. So as we can see, we ran out of battery and the fuel chamber rate only started to shoot up now. What I've done is I've installed a switch here. If I press that, then it just ramps up the fuel chamber rate to 100. And that's actually what I should have been doing when I was approaching with the final approach. Wow, that is quite loud. There we go. Okay, so that's another thing which I should have been doing, is if I was doing the final approach, I should have flipped this button, and by the time we got to the asteroid, the fuel chamber rate would have been up 100%. And then all I have to do is just do this again. But now it has to do the whole sweep thing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's another thing I'm going to automate. Like if you press the final approach button, if you're happy with the thing you want to mine, and then you press the final approach button. Once that button is pressed, then this button will flip on its own, so that the fuel chamber rate can start going up. And by the time you reach your asteroid, then you would have your you're like golden, you know. Then you can mine for a very long time, very long time. And then you just go ahead and press the button. You go ahead and suck up all them goodies. Oh, I see there is a tiny scooch right there. Oh, pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. Usually I take manual control of small asteroids like this one. I think I saw... I knew it. I knew it. Ah, there's some more over there. Okay, there we go. I don't need more ice. I got like a ton of the stuff. That, and there we go. Just switching off all the things. Now, somebody mentioned that what happens if the thing loses its speed meter. Also question, why is that still on? Why? Why did you do that? I was still seated. Then you seat yourself like I'm probably shifting my butt. Alright, and we're back. So, I missed a spot right there. I just saw that there is a value of 10 in there, and I think what's happening is the system is not resetting or flushing itself. I don't know the correct term for it. But it's supposed to, the global variable is supposed to be 0, but it was stuck on 10 because the rangefinder's range is higher than, yeah, it's higher than 260, so it gave itself the value of 10. There is a way to fix it, but I'm not going to do it now. But I will fix that little issue. What I want to do is the YOLO code will check periodically if like if this button is enabled, and make sure that thing, like there's a bunch of things I've got to do. So anyways, so yeah. somebody asked, like, what happens is... Okay, we press this button. Now the ship is moving forward. It's going to try to keep its relative velocity of 10. But I think somebody asked, like, what happens if you lose the speed? It doesn't know its speed. That's the thing. Okay, so what's going to happen is it is going to increase its the lever. It's going to keep on increasing in speed because it doesn't know its speed. If I do this, as we can see, if I switch it on, then it was about 23 meters a second. It saw that immediately, and then it decided to be like, no, this ain't gonna work for me. I will slow down. So that is that. So anyways, people, thanks so much for joining me here on Starbase. Hope you guys did enjoy today's quick presentation of how this ship works. Yeah, next episode we should be back doing some more upgrades to the ship in an SSC. So yeah, thank you guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye.